You are not competitors. And I think the big mistake we have made is by making each other competitors. We are not competing. Our problem is that we are not working closer together to meet the demands that our people have. And as I was telling another gathering, you know, these borders, and I also mentioned to my brother, these borders that you create silos for yourselves amongst, you must always remember, are not your creation. These were creations of people outside of this continent who made these borders not to develop you, but to extract from you. Now that you want to develop yourself, we must start looking at these borders, and we must start removing the barriers that we have put, that have defined us in the past, and now hinder us from being the giant that we should be.
Hello, welcome all brothers and sisters to your African channel where we share thoughts and changing the narrative of Mother Africa. Hope you listen well the clip from the former president of Kenya, UHURU Kenyatta, once speak and reminding that we Africans, we have to look on this issue of borders in our continent, because it is impossible that Africans from our brother from Kenya and our brother from Uganda are divided by a river. This is not what we want to see in Africa. So I hope you listen well, and myself, I agree with him with 100%, because before coming these Westerners in our continent, Africa, we were one. We are using these chiefs and these empires, but they know that this territory is for someone, and this territory for someone. They were not interacting each other, but they are living in socialism. So I appreciate what former president of Kenya said on this first clip. So I know, and you know, that this aim of keeping borders in Africa is not for our interest. This is the interest of these former colonies and still colonizing us, because they put this in order to exploit our resources in easy way. Once they left us to unite, they will no longer have this what we see today. So they divide us in this passion in order to exploit our resources in easy way, and calling themselves that they are investors in our continent, but in real meaning they are not investors in our continent. So brothers and sisters, I join with former president of Kenya, UHURU Kenyatta, on his speech, and I want you to join with him on his way, because the aim of the Berlin Conference is to divide Africa, and they divide it in their needs. That's why we see in some places in Africa, there's no time for them having peace. For instance, in Sudan, Congo, and some parties in Africa, they have continuation of this civil war. What is that? Is due to the resources. So these borders is for the interest of white people who colonized us, and still they are going to colonize us, because the unity of Africa is a threat to them. That's why they don't want to see Africa unity, have the same vision of their continent, of building the Africa they want, that Africa we want. So I appreciate what these my brothers from Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, they joined Niger also, they joined their these three brothers from Mali, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. They joined their bloc, which is Sahel region. What the meaning of that? We don't want to see only in West Africa, but we want to see it in all the continent of Africa, where African leaders came together and have the same vision of the continent of Africa, and stop this exploitation, as what Burkina Faso did with the cooperation of Russia. building the gold final plant in Burkina Faso, and you will take gold as a final product, not as a raw material. This is what we need. And like for them, that Africans, we don't need to revenge on what they did. We want an equality. That's why we say, if you want our resources or you want our things from the continent of Africa, let us get negotiation, and the one who owns it must have higher percent than the one who don't own it. That's why we say African resources is for Africa is for Africans. What we mean here is all resources found in Africa is for Africans. There's no interest of French in Africa. Someone said that we see French making a difficult time there in Niger, and saying that there's interest of French in Niger. And he asked himself that how does resources from French ship or flight from French to Niamey, Niger, on which ship or on which plane? I think this is a real good example, because interest of Africans is in Africa, and interest of these Westerners is in their countries. That's why we say, in order to achieve all this, we have to remove these borders and become one thing. That Africa, we are one since then, but they keep these borders in order to get easy way to exploit the resources from Africa. I appreciate the word of former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, because nothing can come and make or can build the Africa we want except we Africans. Appreciation goes to our founding fathers. They did their work to take this continent in the hands of Africans. So our role now as young generation is to unite this continent and become one, where we can see Tanzanian brother can travel to South Africa without any obstacles, because now we can't travel to another countries, because sometimes if there's even we have this free movement of people and services, this continental free trade area, sometimes it's not achieving, because for instance, you are from, maybe let's take, if you are from Rwanda and you want to go in Malawi, maybe the way Rwanda to Malawi is in Tanzania, and Tanzania have the conflict. It is impossible for someone to pass goods there in Tanzania, because there's no peace. So he or she fears to lose his goods or his life. So let us now wake up. Request from our many Pan-Africanists in our continent. Professor PLO Lumumba say the same thing. Captain Ibrahim Traore, Julius Malema from South Africa there say the same thing, that Africa, we need to unite this continent and become as one. In order to achieve this, all we want, first thing to do is to unite this continent and become one thing. So this is what I want to share with you. Let me don't speak too much, and I appreciate your time from the beginning up to now. Let me leave this time for you who watch the video from the beginning up to now to leave your thought in the comment section, because without sharing ideas, without giving each other opportunities to speak about Africa, we can't achieve our agendas. And these things we can achieve is by making our opinion be transparent, and what we want to achieve, it will be easier. Thanks for watching. This is Facts About Africa, the African channel where we share thought and changing the narrative of Mother Africa. Let us meet on the comment section. Welcome again by subscribing, turning on notification will help us, will help you to get the new video once we upload it again. Thanks for watching. Welcome back. Welcome to the next episode.